Hello and welcome to today's English lesson. So first of all, can we all turn to wave and say a big hello to our friends on camera, guys? Hello. Hello. And we'll begin by doing our meditation sequence. So I will sit down, take 2 fingers, find our heart center, left hand on our laps, and close our eyes. When you're ready, guys, you can open your eyes and come back to the room. And next, we'll go back to our stretch sequence. So let's stand up and push in our chairs. And we'll begin by stretching up high to the sky. High as we can. And then let's go down low, touch your toes. And then back up high one more time. This time, can we go tippy toe high? And while we're there, let's have a wave. Excellent. And then back down to our toes once more. Now we can stand up straight. And let's do some rotations, guys. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Excellent. And now for some stretches. Let's do 5 stretches to our right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we can do 5 stretches to our left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent. And then let's have a shake. Arms and legs, shake it out. Arms and legs, shake it out. And to finish, guys, we will do 5 claps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent. Have a seat. So what we're going to do today is we're going to have a look at a type of word that we've explored already. Can anybody remember and tell me the type of words we give for the group of words known as action words? Verbs, yes. Any type of word in English that is an action or a doing word is known as a verb. So let's write that word on the board first. Verb. V-E-R-B. We can say S2. Verbs means more than one. It's the plural form. Verb is one. Verbs is more than one. And we can write verbs because we're going to be looking at more than one. So remember, verbs are action or doing words. Excellent, guys. So all together, verbs, action, or doing words. Such as, what am I doing now? Stand. What are you doing? Sit. Yes. Any actions that we perform, speak, listen, eat, drink, and also sit, stand, anything we do is a verb. But what we're going to look at now is we're going to look at how to use verbs in the past tense. Now, does anybody remember what letters we have to add to verbs, the regular verbs, to use them correctly in the past tense? Anyone remember letters for past tense verbs? We have to add 2 letters in particular. ED. Excellent. Well remembered. So for past tense verbs, the regular verbs, that is, past tense for the verbs plus ED. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a verb word on the board, the base form of the verb, and then have students come forward and demonstrate how by adding the letters ED, we can change it to the past tense form. So first of all, the first verb we will have, W-A-L-K. What verb word do we have here, guys? Walk. Okay, so let's see if our students can work out how to add the letters to change it to past tense form. So first of all, we've got net. So net, come and join me at the front of class, please. So guys, if we want to change walk to the past tense, what letters do we add? ED. So walk, E-D. Okay, yes, so we've got walked. You see, walk, walked. Net, can you say walk, walked, walked. Yes, okay, high five and a big round of applause for Net, please, guys. And let's use it with another verb word. So the next one we can use, P-A-I-N-T. We have paint. Yes. And now I would like Pat to demonstrate how we can change paint into the past tense form by adding the letters ED. So Pat, come and join me at the front. So we've got paint, which is the regular verb word, but to change it to the past tense, what letters do we add? ED. Paint will become painted. Excellent, Pat. Well done, you see. Same as walk, paint. Painted. Can you say, Pat? Paint, painted. Excellent. High five and a big round of applause for Pat, guys. And let's do one more together. So let's see, the third verb word we will use is something you like to do all the time. P-L-A-Y. What verb word do we have? Play. Okay, so let's now see Chu change the word play into its past tense form, adding the correct letters. So Chu, come and join me at the front of class. Okay, guys, so once again, we've got our verb word play. Now, we know by now, what letters are we adding to change it to the past tense? ED. So, Chu, can you demonstrate ED to change play to played? E. And then the second letter, D. Perfect. We've gone from play to played. Chu, can you say play? Played. Excellent, Chu. High five and a big round of applause for Chu, please, guys. So let's do it one more time. Walk, walked. Paint, painted. Play, played. Now, what do you notice? ED, same letters, but listen to the sounds. Walked, painted, played. Each ED sound, even though it's the same letters, it produces a different sound. With walked, it makes the sound as though we're saying t. One more time, walked. And then paint. If we do painted, painted, the final sound is like ID. ID. And then played. Played. All it does, we don't pronounce the E, we just pronounce the D. So one more time together, guys. Walked. You see? ED is like the T sound. Walked. Painted. We pronounce the ED like ID. And then played. The three different ways to produce the ED sounds. And this is the focus of today's lesson, because what we're concentrating on again is phonics. Yes, today's lesson is going to be about the final ED sounds with verbs and the three different ways we pronounce it. Walked, like a T, painted, like ID, and played, just like the D. So what we'll do now is we'll take a look at a PowerPoint presentation for our students to observe, listen to, and practice speaking the different ways to produce the final sounds of ED past tense verbs. So well done, guys. That was excellent. Well listened. So let's take a look at our PowerPoint presentation, phonics. English sounds for kids. Yes, and in today's lesson, we're concentrating on the ED ending sounds. Yes, the spelling always stays the same, but as we learned earlier, there's three different ways to pronounce the sounds. So the first one we're going to look at is ED, pronounced as T. T. Let's take a look. Walked. Notice, even though it's ED, walked. I walked home from school with my friend today. Yes, so the ED letters producing the final T sound. Or finished. I finished my homework before I watched TV last night. You see, finished. Even though it's ED, it's the T sound. And another one, washed. My parents washed the car because it was a sunny day. Yes. So the ED sound can produce, the ED letters produce the T sound in some regular past tense verbs. But also we have ED as id. ID. Let's have a look at some examples. Waited. The teacher waited for the students to enter the classroom to study. So see, guys, how we've got a verb with the ED letters, but now it's not T, it's id. Waited. Same letters producing the different sounds. The next one, painted. The artist painted a picture of the seaside when she was on holiday. Yes, painted. ED pronounced as ID. And another one we can use, tidied. My friend tidied her room before she went to play with her friends. So once again, tidied, ED, pronounced as ID. And then the final sound that we're looking at today, ED, just pronounced D. So basically what we do, we just drop the E. We still spell it with E, but we just pronounce it D. And an example, cried. Cried. The baby cried because he did not want to take a bath. Yes. Still got the ED sound, ED spelling at the end of the word, but we don't pronounce the E. It's just cried. Played. The boys played football in the park with their friends yesterday evening. Yes. And the final one, rained. It rained very hard this morning, and the dog could not play outside. So once again, see how the verb in its past tense form with ED just pronounces the D sound. Let's practice the verb words one more time, guys. So first of all, with the T sound. Walked. Finished. Washed. Now, ED as ID. Waited. Painted. Tidied. And finally, ED as just D. Cried. Played. Rained. So you see, the same spelling with the 3 different pronunciations. Any questions? Okay, that was excellent, guys. Well done. Welcome back to class. We hope your students enjoyed the PowerPoint presentation to understand and practice speaking of, even though regular verbs in the past tense end ED, there are 3 different ways to pronounce the sounds. The first one, T, like a T. The second time, id, like ID. And then the third, just D, where we drop the E and just pronounce the D. And coming up, we've got a flashcards exercise for our students to practice speaking. But first of all, guys, time for our stretch sequence. Let's stand up and push in our chairs. And we'll have a game of Teacher Says. So Teacher Says, stand on one leg. Teacher Says, arms in the air. Teacher Says, hands on head. Teacher Says, swap legs. Teacher Says, swap legs. Teacher Says, stand up. Teacher Says, arms down. Teacher Says, turn around. Turn back the other way. Teacher Says, back the other way. Touch your nose. Teacher Says, hands on shoulders. Teacher Says, hands on hips. Teacher Says, touch your stomach. And teacher says, one hand on head. So now teacher says, pat your stomach. And teacher says, rub your head. Stop. Teacher says, stop. And teacher says, into a ball. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Teacher says, jump. And teacher says, please sit down. Okay, so teacher says, it's now time for our flashcards activity. And what we're going to do is we're going to be giving our students flashcards with the different verb words on that they learnt in the PowerPoint presentation, but then they have to group them and pronounce them correctly according to the final sound. So first of all, what we need to do is we need 3 columns on the board according to each of the final sounds the ED spellings make. So the first one, guys, we had ED at the end of our verb words, but how did it sound like? What letter did we sound like? ID was 1. Yes, we've got ED pronounced as ID. So that's 1 column on the board. Instead of ed, we say id. But then we had ED pronounced as just T. So that can be our second column. And then finally, Pakbung, ED pronounced as D. E, D as D. So our 3 columns. Ready, guys? Id, T, D. So when you get your flashcard, have a look at the picture and the words on it and decide which of the different columns the final sound represents. Place it in the correct column and speak the word correctly. So now, guys, let's close our eyes and see who gets the first flashcard. Okay, so the first flashcard is with Lakgao. So Lakgao, come and show your friends your flashcard. And have a look at the words on the flashcard. Cried. What do we think, guys? ED, but what final sound? As D. Cried. Excellent, Lakgao. So let's hear it from Lakgao one more time. Cried. All together, cried. Excellent, Lakgao. High five. Big round of applause for Lakgao. So teachers, you can see the activity we're doing in our classroom. You can play on with your own students now for around the next 10 to 12 minutes. So pause the video and remember, choose a different student for each flashcard. But when they've done it correctly, the entire class can practice speaking together. And we'll carry on playing in our room now. And the next flashcard is with Bangbon. Bangbon, come and join me at the front. Okay, so what word is on your flashcard, Bangbon? Can we help Bangbon? Waited. Waited. So that final sound, waited. What do we think? Is it ID, T, or D? Waited. Yes, we put it into this column here because the final sound is like ID. So once again, Bangbon, waited. All together, guys, waited. And that's the correct sound of the ED here. Bangbon, well done. High five. Big round of applause for Bangbon. Okay, next student. Let's see who can go next. And now it's Net's turn. So Net, bring your flashcard to the front of class. And what's the word that Net has on his flashcard? What verb word can you see, Net? Walked. What do we think? Walked. Yes. What do you think, Net? Can you say the verb? Can you say your word? Walked. Walked. Yes. So what column do you think it goes in? Okay. And can we say it one more time? Walked.
Walked.
Net, can you say walked? Walked. Walked. And one more time together, guys. Walked.
Walked.
Okay, Net, very good. Big round of applause for Net, please, guys. And then we'll carry on going till we run out of cards and run out of students. And the next flashcard with Pak Bung. So Pak Bung, come and bring your flashcard to the front of class and tell us the word that you have on your flashcard. What word can we see, guys? What past tense verb? Washed. Washed. What do we think? Yes. Have to be careful because sometimes it can sound like the D, but washed is like D as T. So one more time. Excellent. Washed. One more time, guys. Washed is the correct pronunciation of ED as the T sound. So well done, Pak Bung. High five. Big round of applause for Pak Bung. And now it's Prau's turn with her flashcard. So Prau, bring your flashcard to the front of class. Let's see if we can see the word on Prau's flashcard. What word do you have, Prau? What word, guys, can you remember from the PowerPoint? Tidied. Okay, tidied. What do we think? ID is correct. Well done. You see, ED is pronounced as EED. So one more time, Prau. Tidied. All together, guys. Tidied. ED pronounced as ID. High five for Prau and a big round of applause. Okay, now on to our next flash. This time for Pat. So Pat, come and join me at the front of class. And what verb word does Pat have on his flashcard? Finished. What do we think? Really? Finished. Finished is like T. Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference between the final D and the final T sound. But if it's pronounced correctly, it will be finished. Okay? So can you say your verb word, Pat? Finished. Excellent. And then you can place it here on the board. And all together, guys, finished is the correct sounding of the ED pronounced as T. Pat, that was very good. High five. Big round of applause for Pat. And time for our final few students now. And the next student is Nadia. So Nadia, bring your flashcard to the front of class. What verb word does Nadia have on her flashcard? Rained. Rained. Nadia, what do you think? The final sound pronounced as D. So we can say rained. Can you say one more time? Rained. Excellent. And all together, guys, rained. Excellent, Nadia. That was brilliant. High five for Nadia and a round of applause. Now it's Down's turn. So Down, bring your flashcard to the front of class. What do we think, guys? What word can we see? Painted. Painted. So what end sounds are you hearing? ID is correct. So Down, what column will you place it in? And can you say one more time? Painted. Painted. All together, guys, painted. Painted. ED pronounced as ID. Well done, Dan, that was excellent. High five and a big round of applause for our time. Okay, one more flashcard and one more student. So now it's Chu's turn. Chu, you have the honour of the final flashcard. So bring you forward to the front of class. Okay, and Chu, can you show your friends your words? What verb word do we have? Played. What do we think? There's only one space left. D. Played. So Chu, can you place it on the board? You can see in the space, that's correct. Well done. And then can you say play? Played. All together, guys, played. Excellent, Chu. High five, big round of applause. So now that we've got all our flashcards on the board, let's practice speaking one more time. Waited, tidied, painted, walked, washed, finished, and then cried, rained, played. Guys, very well done. That was brilliant. Now it's time for our worksheet part of the lesson. So teachers, make sure every student in your class gets their own worksheet. And on today's worksheet, we've got a story. But all of the verb words to our story are missing. They're in the word box and they're all in the past tense form. That means ED. So our students need to read the story and then each time select the correct past tense verb to complete the sentences. And they all are the ones that we've learnt about before that share the three different sounds. ID, T, and D. But what's the first thing we need to do, guys? Write your names on top. And then, when everybody's finished, we can practice speaking the story together. So Net, this one's for you. Pak Bung, you're welcome. Pat, for you. You're welcome. Nadia, there's yours. You're welcome. Chu, for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Dan, you're welcome. Prao, for you.
Thank you, teacher.
You're welcome. Bangpon, here's yours.
Thank you, teacher.
You're welcome. And Lakgao, for you. So guys, names on top. And then have a read of the story about your friend. My friend walked home from school. So number one, we've got walked. But then she got wet.
She go with because it
If she gets wet, what happens when she was walking? Rains. Yesterday, my friend walked home from school, but she got wet because it rained. Then, what's the next?
my friend
Arrived.
arrived home.
She. Something. What did she do? What's the next part of the story? What did she do with her homework?
Finish.
She finished her homework. Well done, Prao. Finished her homework. And then something to her room. If her room was a bit messy, and tidied her room. Perfect. Before she watched television. Afterwards, she. Now, what would we do with a picture? How would we make a picture? She painted. Soon she something because she saw a spider. Now, if she was scared of spiders, what might she have done? Cried, yes. Maybe she was scared of the spider, and that made her cry. Face. If we cry, after we finish crying, what might we want to do? Wash, yes. So she washed her face. For her brother. Okay, so what do we think? She's something for her brother. Waited or played? Before they played, she waited for her brother to arrive home. And then when her brother arrived home, they played together. Welcome back to class. We hope your students enjoyed the worksheet activity where they had to complete the story by choosing the correct past tense verbs to complete the sentences. My students here have all done a great job, and now we're going to practice speaking together. So ready, guys? My friend walked home from school yesterday, but she got wet because it rained. When my friend arrived home, she finished her homework and tidied her room before she watched television. Afterwards, she painted a nice picture, but soon she cried because she saw a spider. My friend then washed her face and waited for her brother to arrive home. After dinner, they both played a game together. Guys, that was brilliant. Very well spoken. And that's the end of today's lesson. So we hope you've enjoyed it and found it interesting, and now understand how for past tense regular verbs, the spelling always ends ed, but the final sound will change to one of three variations. And we'll see you again soon for the next lesson. So can we turn to wave and say goodbye, guys? Goodbye. Bye-bye. See you again soon.